this is Team ClassesForU, and this is our final presentation.
I'm Alejandro.
I'm Audrey.
I'm Sarthak.
I'm Victor.
ClassesForU is a comprehensive web application for students to confidently choose courses based on the latest analytics available to them and build schedules based on their preferences all in one place. Here is our final presentation.
As any student at the U can attest, the start of each semester is marked by a frustrating period of trying to figure out their courses for the next semester, as well as to plan effectively ahead in order to be scheduled multiple semesters ahead. This is a process that is very complicated by the fractured and complex nature of the current state of class selection. So currently, if a student wants to schedule, they'll have to go to the official registration portal as well as the schedule builder. And they might also have to look at secondary sources such as Rate My Professor or the OBIA information portal in order to gain more insight into their coursework. Furthermore, they might have to look at sources such as Google Maps just to figure out where their courses are and if it's reasonable to be able to transition between them as they move between their classes. And so our solution to this problem is to try to centralize these sources, information, and actions into one single source that a student can easily navigate and interact with. So this is split across three core pillars. Our first is class analytics. We provide a portal for professor ratings, class locations, and grade distributions that might inform student scheduling decisions. We have a schedule creator where students are able to create, save, and share semester schedules and see a weekly calendar view. And we also have a degree planner where they can plan further ahead. They can, using degree roadmaps that are officially provided by the university, and see information such as course prerequisites and schedule effectively into the future. We also provide an advisor view where advisors are able to edit all the information and data that's related to courses, such as the prerequisites, creating and editing degree plans, and also adding things such as courses, departments, and professors to the system. And so I'll now pass it off to Audrey, who will demo our application.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started with the demo. So as a student, you first enter on the login page, and here we will use our demo student. And when you first come in, you're taken to the home page where you can see the three different features that we have: the schedule creator, class analytics, and degree planner page. And from here, you can navigate to those pages and look through the tutorials on each page. So let's get started with the schedule creator. So in here, you can see you can select a semester, a year, department, and class. So let's go ahead and do a demo. So let's say I want accounting and I want financial accounting 1. So if I add this to my schedule, here you can see that that was added to the schedule. Furthermore, if I want to save a new schedule, so I added accounting, so I want to call this accounting. Okay, I'm going to click save. And then here you can see that I have my save schedule. And then I have another save schedule in here that I can open up. So that way I can switch between the schedules that I have and see which one I want to do best. Also from here, I can share a schedule. So you can copy to the clipboard and click share. And then I can import that schedule. And as you can see, these change colors. It's the same schedule, but this was imported on top of the old one. So on the next page, class analytics, you can look at the various analytics for a class. So let's go ahead and select one. Let's take accounting 5000, for example. So here you can see the class description was auto-populated. The professor rating is shown here. And here you can choose different grade distributions to look at the grades that were received during a different semester. And then since this class is online, it's just displayed as the University of Utah. So let's go ahead and find a class that's on campus. So here you can see for computer science 1410, there's a location on campus. And if you click directions, it'll take you to Google Maps and you can navigate to that class. And this one also has grade distributions as well. So let's move on to our third feature, the degree planner. So from here, you can select a different degree. So let's say I want to do computer engineering, and I can see all the requirements for that degree. So if a course is red, that means that the prerequisites for that course are not currently in the schedule. So if I go ahead and add this, we can see that that populates up in green and turns these to green. Also, another feature we have in here is that you can see if your prerequisites are in the correct order. So for example, 1400 is a prerequisite for 1410. And inside of this view, it's green, meaning that it's before this class. But if I move it, you can see that it turns yellow because now this is after in a semester after when I'm taking 1410. So another feature that you can see here is this button, which allows you to see when the classes were offered in previous semesters. So you can look back pretty far and see that this class is mostly offered year-round. so that you can be confident when you're adding it to your schedule that you'll be able to take it in that semester. Furthermore, let's say you wanted to see Math 1210 in the Class Analytics page. You can click this button and you see this populates with the information on that course, so you can determine if you want to take it based on these stats. Then let's navigate back to the degree planner. And here we can see these buttons, which allow you to view the classes in the schedule creator page. So let's take 2420 and 2100 and spring 2021. And we come in, we see spring 2021, and we can select the sections for these different classes, and you see they're added to our schedule. So these are just some of the page connections that we made that we thought would be useful for the user. Now let's move on to Alejandro, who will discuss our tech stack and our software practices.
Thanks, Audrey. So for our tech stack, we're using the MERN stack, which consists of Mongo for the database, Express for the backend API endpoints, React for the frontend, and finally Node. This is our tech stack diagram, where we can see we have multiple instances running. On the right side, we have multiple APIs where we get the data from. The first one is the course catalog, where we get the information about the classes that the university offers. The other ones are for stats. For example, OBIA gives us data for grade distribution, and Rate My Professor gives us professors' ratings. Along with that, we have scrapers that get data from these APIs and send them to our database, which is running in MongoDB Cloud. For the backend, we have multiple API endpoints that get the data from our database and send them to the frontend running React. This is all hosted in two different VMs that are hosted by DigitalOcean. One for the frontend running a web server with our app deployed, and the other one for the backend running our Node server. We also had more than 200 closed issues. This means our team was constantly updating the board, adding, moving, and closing issues to make sure everything was completed before the deadline. Finally, we had over 1,000 pushes to GitLab with 32 different branches that made our development process very organized, since each branch represented a feature of our application. Now Sarah is going to talk about the user study.
Thank you, Alejandro. Now moving on to the user study. A key component of our project was conducting user studies. We conducted 7 different user studies in total and found that most users had the same issue. They found it tough to use the website because they felt that the website was unclear due to a lack of instructions in each page and were unsure what some icons meant and were unhappy that there were no tooltips available to them. They found that some page connections were unintuitive and found that there were some features that they elected not to use just because of their lack of understanding of these features. So in order to fix these problems, we decided to provide users with how-to guides. These how-to guides were represented with tooltips, and when you click on these tooltips, it brings a pop-up that instructs users on how to use the feature provided. For example, on the slide here, when a user decided to click a tooltip associated with the class analytics, it tells the user that they need to select the semester, the major, and a class, and it would then bring up the class analytics for the selected class. Furthermore, to fix the unintuitiveness, we had text show up when hovering over page connections. For example, if you hover over the schedule of a semester in the degree planner, it will export the schedule to the schedule creator page. Likewise, if you hover over a course in the degree planner and click on the connection there, it will direct you to the class analytics of that particular class. This makes it easier for the users to pass in information around the website without repeating themselves. In conclusion, we have solved 4 key components with our project. We have made it easier for students to decide which classes to take by providing them with all the information in one place rather than jumping from page to page as Victor had initially shown. We have also made it easier for students to decide which classes to take in the semester. We've also made it easier for students to plan their future semesters and map their degrees out by using the degree planner. Finally, we've increased the life cycle by giving the advisors the option to always add new information for students so that students have the most up-to-date information available to them when deciding which classes they'd like to take.